Jeez, what was that? That's a scary way to start the stream. But we should be live any moment now. Venus, you're moving the camera. Venus. Oh, jeez. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. Freaking Venus. I set up the camera to point at the monitor, and she's moving it. Doesn't matter. She's going to make herself known at some point in the video. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another series at, what are we calling this? Home Media Server Setup Part 6. First, I should say welcome to Sacco's Tech Spot, right? And we need to just continue this because I think I'm quite over this project. Last time, if you don't remember, or if you weren't here, we ran into some issues with installing the latest version of FreeNAS on a USB thumb drive. And we circumvented that by actually getting an older version of FreeNAS, which for some reason works, booting from a thumb drive. So we installed FreeNAS 11.1. The latest is 11.3. We're going to go ahead and we're going to try to see if we can upgrade it since we already have it installed on the system. Hopefully that works. We're just updating files, right? I don't know. We're going to find out together and hopefully wrap this project up. I don't think I'm going to show how to set up the jails and everything in there. Maybe we'll install Plex and assign a drive or something, but that's about it. But other than that, I think it should go smoothly, assuming we can install or upgrade FreeNAS rather. So I have everything plugged in. Let me switch over to the other camera too. There we go. Venus did move it, but it's fine. It's still in frame. So I'm going to go ahead and boot it up. This is the first time I'm booting it up since last week when I worked on it. So hopefully everything is working properly. Oh, it would help if I plug it in, right? Like the power cord should be plugged in. Okay, there we go. Oh, it turns on right away. So I'm going to have to use the preview here in order to see what's on screen. What is that? F10? No. Oh, crap. I can't see what this is. F9. Here we go. Let me just get a bigger preview on my end. There we go. It's counting the RAM. It's what it does. I mean, the first time we started working on this project, I was building my own box from scratch. It was an old Optiplex if you want to run back and watch those parts. Part 1 to 3 was like working on the old Optiplex, and then I got a hookup on this current machine, which has like 6 terabytes already in there, 6 to 8. I think it's 8. Doesn't matter. It has a bunch of memory, which we're going to be utilizing. It's already pre-made, ready to go. There's a beep. I'm freaking out. What's that say? System configurations have changed. Well, that's a lie. Okay. Do I have to hit anything? Save changes? CMOS check fund. I think that's the CMOS battery that we never changed. Did I change the CMOS on this one? I don't remember. We were getting a CMOS error from one of them. Those old beeps, man, they were scarier. Something about the old beep noises were vastly different than our current beep noises. F1 boot. Did this thing just die on me? Nope, it's booting back up. All right. Okay, that's the screen we're used to seeing. I think the CMOS battery is dead. I will replace that at some point in the near future. Wow, you guys cannot see anything. That's a terrible viewing angle. I mean, what am I supposed to do? That's terrible. I'm so sorry. At this point in time, there's not much I can do. USB device, right? Yeah. Just got a message. Samsung Drive, that's the one with the installation, or in this case, our upgrade files. We're attempting to boot. This is my first time using it. Oh, wait, there it is. Boot FreeNAS installer. Huh. We didn't get an upgrade option. Maybe the upgrade option is next? I do remember seeing an upgrade option. There it is, upgrade. Oh, you guys can't see that. I am terribly sorry. I have nothing that I can do here. You know what? Maybe there's one thing I can do. Bear with me. I will do it for the YouTube. Let's see if I can do something like... Is that better? Marginally better. Okay, I got this. I got this. This heavy box of drives. Oh god, that is extremely heavy. But I think that might have done it. Yeah, that's as good as it's gonna get, ladies and gentlemen. Whoop. I just want to make sure it's straight. Doing it live. There it is. Okay. That's actually kind of legible now. This one. This is our drive that we will be upgrading. Oops, I forgot to hit select. Install upgrade. Okay. I think we can go from 11.1 to 11.3. That shouldn't be a problem. Oh, okay. So it's registering, doing stuff. I'm pretty hopeful about this whole process. So I guess the moral of the story is if you're having issues with a bootable drive or a bootable thumb drive for FreeNAS, try going back a couple versions and then upgrading. But let's see if the upgrade even works. Don't want to speak too soon. And these are pretty decent drives. I don't know why this loading is taking forever. Is that the other hardware limitations? Should be a quad-core processor up in here. Probably should have checked the BIOS. So that is in fact 8 terabytes. No. That's 10 terabytes. Jeez. And then we have a 64 gig drive. That's an SSD that we will be using as a caching sort of drive. Probably not necessarily needed, but good to have. Why not? It's already in there. We're going to take advantage of the situation. I don't know why this loading is taking forever. I mean, I don't think we're getting USB 3 speeds, although they are USB 3 drives. Does the Optiplex that I was working on have USB 3.0? I don't think it would. No, definitely not. Absolutely not. Does this have USB 3.0? I can't tell. Probably should have looked before I put the drive in, but it's too late now. We made our bed. We have to sleep in it. there's also this tiny drive. If you were here last time, you will remember. We took out this little beast. I believe this was a 4 gig drive that was originally in there and messing with our boot because there was like an old version of FreeNAS still on it, which you can't even install FreeNAS on a 4 gig drive anymore. So that had to go. Although it's pretty cool. It's a cool little chip. I think it's neat. It was basically like M.2s back in the day, where you just kind of plunk it into a USB drive or a header on the motherboard and call it a day. Alright, now I'm getting a little concerned. But never mind, there's no indication lights on here. I see the PNY drive flashing. Samsung One does not have any lights on it whatsoever. So there is something happening right now as we speak. You might be wondering what I'm going to put on this server, the Plex server that we're going to end up with. Well, I have a bunch of old DVDs that need to be backed up because I don't know how much longer those DVDs are going to last. I mean, we're talking about they go back about 15 years, some of them, maybe even longer, depending on what is there. So it's going to have a bunch of old TV shows that I've downloaded way back when. And then we're going to start putting like Blu-rays ripped right onto the drive. So that way we don't have to actually swap discs every time you want to watch a movie. It's going to be like a little internal Netflix, local area network Netflix. That's the idea, at least. It was working fine in the Optiplex, but it just wasn't anywhere near this much storage. I think we only had 600 gigs in there, as opposed to 10 terabytes here. That's, come on. Come on. Let's hit the arrow key one more time. These are arrow keys, and they're coming up as random strings of characters here. Down is B, up is A, left is D, right is C. Oh, it's the other way around. Nope. Whoop, 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 whoop. There it is. A, B, C, D. I don't think that's affecting the process in any way whatsoever. Although this is quite annoying. I wish it would hurry up. I mean, there's not like there's nothing else for me to do. Should I hit enter again? Okay, that did literally nothing. I may have made matters worse. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. You know what? I doubt it so much, I'm gonna hit it again. Yeah. That's what I'll do. Pass the time, hitting enter. I don't think I've experienced computer slowness like this for a long time. This is what it was like back in the day. I don't know why we're experiencing it now with this box. I hope there's no issues with it. That'd be kind of upsetting. But it's doing something. I mean, we're doing USB to USB through potentially USB 2.0, but they're literally right next to each other here. I'm gonna check on something. Nope, I don't think there's a USB 3.0. There is, but that's an aftermarket card that was installed. The PNY drive is flashing constantly. Not sure why. I think this is just a matter of believing that it will work. 100%. I believe. Just kick back, relax, take a sip of your beverage. We're chilling. I'm pretty sure this is working off of DDR2 memory, so that might be playing a factor in this. I don't know. I really don't. This is from the Vista days, which is, what was Windows Vista's release date? Windows Vista, let's see. 2007 for Vista. Okay, so that means, let's check the DDR3 release date, yeah. Also 2007. So actually there's a chance it has DDR3 memory. But like year 1 of release DDR3 memory. That's ridiculous. I mean, it might also have DDR2. It wouldn't be unheard of. Either way, I mean, we've been at this 15 minutes already. Just staring at this screen here. Maybe less. But even as an approximate, that sounds like a lot. I feel like I should do something. I'm not going to turn the machine off. That would be irrational. Then again, we haven't started the install process, so maybe that would work. And I'm wondering if that would work. Is it worth turning it off and starting this process all over again? Probably not. I think I'm gonna let it keep going. Yeah. That's what my heart's telling me to do. It's almost as if we have to beat it at its own game. It thinks we're gonna fold. We're not folding. I'm gonna hit the arrow again. Bam. A, B, C, D. Now the interesting thing is the right arrow is the letter C. I would have pictured the left arrow being C. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's because I guess I read left to right, and the left arrow just makes sense as C, and then it would be the right arrow as D. Coincidentally, my arrow keys also have WASD on them, and D is the right arrow. So when I hit that, oh wait, that's C. Oh, I got them backwards. No, I said that right. The letter is D on there though. Now that confuses me. Either way, I am just trying to fill up this time with banter as we wait for this to wrap up. You just gotta believe. We might be here 5 more minutes, 30 more seconds. You just never know. I meant to make this video earlier, but I went to eat and it was freaking delicious. I had this spicy fried chicken. Now when I ordered it, I thought I was gonna get a spicy fried chicken where the seasoning and the spices were mixed in the breading of the fried chicken. But what they did was they dipped it in sauce, or they poured sauce on top. Either way, they used the sauce, and after they fried the chicken, they poured the sauce or dipped it or however they did it. And that was my first time experiencing spicy fried chicken in that form. I gotta say, it was quite amazing. It was extremely spicy. Not sure if I want to get that again because it was just overwhelmingly spicy, and it's a hot day today, so it was like a double whammy. And no more whammies. I'm gonna go with the original fried chicken next time. I just had a hankering for fried chicken, and I thought it was gonna be the seasoned in the breading kind of fried chicken, but I don't know. The sauce was very messy, although it was delicious. I'm not gonna lie, it was amazingly delicious. It was like a Nashville hot kind of seasoning, like Cajun almost, or sauce rather, not seasoning. But yeah, I'm a dry food kind of guy. Like when I get a burrito, not a big fan of wet burritos. Keep my burrito dry. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it oozing while I'm biting into it. Oh, there we go. See, it was just a matter of time. And this is the first time I'm doing upgrade install. What is this? User configuration settings and storage volumes are preserved and not affected by this step. The boot device can be formatted to remove old versions, or upgrade can be installed in a new boot environment without affecting any existing versions. Now, I mean, ideally we should play it safe and go with a new boot environment, but I really don't want extra storage space wasted. I think I'm going to format it. Let's format it, yeah? How confident are we? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to format it right now. But if it doesn't work, we're going to have to go backwards. And then I'm going to install it in a new boot environment. But I don't think I'm going to live stream that whole entire process because it's basically redoing what we're doing now. It's pretty much a fresh install. All I did was log into it to see that it's all working honky-dory. So let's go ahead and format. Yes, proceed with the upgrade. Boot via BIOS. Okay. Now, this is the part where it's just going to be heartbreaking until the very end because it was actually a functional setup, although it was a 2 version old installation. So I really hope it works. Otherwise, I'm going to be slightly heartbroken. Come on. I don't like that it stopped. The thing is, this is not a difficult process. This works flawlessly when you install to an actual hard drive, like a hard disk drive. You want to install it through a SATA port. I have no idea why. The USB drive is treated completely differently than a SATA drive. I mean, I kind of get it. That's a USB device as opposed to something that's a direct connection to the motherboard. And then that USB probably goes through, chipsets that are coded a certain way. I wish they would be recognized as identical type of devices. They both do the same function. And also, we've come a long way. I don't think that should even be considered a problem. People boot off of a thumb drive to Windows and shit. It's a little frustrating, to say the least, when it doesn't work the way you expect it to. I hear the hard drive in there working, but the hard drive has no say in this. This is USB to USB. That's probably a part of the slowness. Well, in the meantime, let us see if we can find any more information on the FreeNAS stuff. I really wish they would give you some sort of sign that it's doing something besides just this, you know, little white block in the middle of all the black. The only help I could find online is people actually using USB 3.0 ports, which means they're not using ancient hardware like I am. This one says certain motherboards have support for bootable media. This one might be limited considering it's from 2007, which is the same era as this one. That's... yeah, I don't like the way that sounds. But this one actually does boot from USB. It was working with 11.1, so that's... yeah, never mind. Huh. One of the recommended options are to install to USB. That's true, but it's so bad. This person is saying you should just boot off of an SSD since it'll likely last much longer than this USB. I think maybe I should have just done that, because I bought these USB sticks specifically for the project, and it doesn't seem like that was an ideal situation. Let's see. Okay, so the cheapest SSD I could see here is about 30 bucks. And this one is 256 gigs. 30 bucks for 256. I spent 20 bucks on 2 drives. I should have just got an SSD and threw it in there. But then again, all the SATA ports are taken inside. There's 120 gig for 22 bucks. What we got here? Alright, so how long is this one going to take, you think? I mean, what am I going to do? I can get this 120 gig SSD and just throw it in there. But I refuse. I spent this much time making this work. I'm going to give up now? I don't know about that. Damn, 2 terabyte NVMe M.2. That's dope. 420 bucks. Get them. Beautiful though. That seems to be the simple solution. I had problems with my USB boot drive. I replaced it with a small SSD. Great. What about if you don't have any SATA ports left? I guess I could take out one of those drives, right? That just pains me to think about it. I had the same issue with the Kingston USB stick. My USB stick I'm using now is a 16 gig ultra fit SanDisk in a mirror. It's working good. Make sure to have a backup of your FreeNAS config and any scripts you use. It's super easy to reset up. I just saw a movement. Wow, there it is. How long is this installation process going to take? Maybe I should end the stream and just have a follow-up. I'll see how long it takes to get to like 10% before I do that. Yeah, it says do yourself a big favor and buy a small SSD for 20 bucks and install it on that. Oh god, I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna add this cheap one to my cart right now. It's $21, 120 gigs. Let's see if we could find a cheaper one. Let's see what the cheapest SSD on Amazon looks like. Search all departments because it's not always in electronics. I'm gonna just search for SSD, sort by lowest price, but you know I'm going to click that Prime only button. You know I'm going to do that. I don't have Amazon Prime for no reason. There we go. Let's see. These are a bunch of like adapters for SSDs. Why would you cool an SSD? That is the most useless invention. An SSD fan? Are you kidding me? An M.2, maybe I understand. Maybe. Oh, here we go. 32 gigabyte SSD. That's hilarious by KingSpec. Is some no-name company. 32 gigabytes. What the hell? About as fast as a conventional drive. It bogs down under load. Garbage drive. It works okay for a month or two. Now getting 6,000 plus millisecond response time. Wow. Yeah, not worth saving a couple bucks. There's some PCI Express ones. That looks kind of cool. Come on, let's see it. I will literally just dangle it in there. Okay, so the cheapest one had the worst reviews. Do not go for that one. Let's see the next cheapest one. I still think it's stupid to have a fan on a freaking SSD. But what do I know, right? That's just like my opinion, man. Alright, we're in the $20 range. And I don't see any actual SSD drives yet. Oh, here we go. So, okay, it looks like $20.99 USD is as good as it's gonna get, and that's made by Silicon Power. So Silicon Power, there's also a company here called Inland Professional, and their drives are actually rated pretty well. Same price, but theirs is only 120 gigs, so you get an extra 8 gigs with Silicon Power. That's ridiculous. This still hasn't installed. Do you see this? I think I'm gonna go with that Silicon Power one. 128 gigs. 20 bucks. 99 cents. 21 bucks, let's be honest. Let's check the most recent reviews, yeah. Do not purchase this drive. As an IT professional, I highly recommend not purchasing this drive. I saw the overall good reviews for this drive and a low price and thought this SSD was a steal, so I purchased it. You have all heard the old adage, you get what you pay for. That applies to this drive. While this drive technically works, it won't work for very long. Even in its packaging, the drive had no weight. I removed it from its packaging and immediately felt the cheap plastic it was encased in. I plugged the drive into my computer and set everything up. This drive decided to check the drive's... what? The drive worked immediately and I saw an increase in performance. However, something was nagging at me. I decided to check the drive's temperature and I was glad I did. It was idling at 100 Celsius. That's over 2.5 times what other SSDs idle at. It's another computer in my... In another computer, my Samsung SSD idles at 38 Celsius. At 100 Celsius, this drive is hot enough to boil water. However, I want to make sure that this drive was actually at that temperature, as it could have just been a faulty sensor. I opened the case and used the infrared thermometer on the SSD case, and it read 89 Celsius, so the internal temperature is definitely at 100 Celsius, and the internal sensor is good. Jeez. Second review. Do yourself a favor and buy a nicer drive. Oh god. Yeah. Cheap plastic, rectangle, inspires no confidence. So the next one up would be $21.99, and that's 128 gigs, made by PNY. That one has 1,444 reviews with an average of 4.5 stars. Alright, let's check the reviews on this one, yeah? Horrible reliability. 1 star. Easy, fast, and also short-lived. 1 star. 2 stars. Short term. Be sure to do frequent backups. Oh yeah, this is terrible. Cheap SSD for older Mac. Quick death. That's hilarious. So what am I supposed to do? I'm not gonna spend $50 on a decent drive. Get out of here with that. Messed up my new laptop. How did that even happen? It got so hot it melted the plastic around the holding screw. New computer now. I can output an M.2 card. Hopefully it can be repaired. Also purchased a SATA M.2 card from AData and no different one. What? And no issues at all. Not sure if it was just this card that got hot, but also cannot recommend it at all. I will try a different one once I repair my damn laptop. Damn new laptop. Let me see the picture. Can't read today. Today's not the day for reading. I don't see any damage. Doesn't look like anything melted. I don't know what he's complaining about. Anyways, it looks like this might be our best chance as of right now. AData, a failure, my experience. Okay. I think it's clear what we need to do. Get this damn thing to work off USB. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to stream the rest of this. It's going incredibly slow. I don't know how long this is going to take, but this is my next step in this process. I just saw one dot move. After how long? How long have we been doing this? At this point, it's just me ranting and trying to find a simpler solution, which is basically install an SSD. You know what the messed up thing is? I've got 2 SSDs right here. But you know what the problem is? You have to install FreeNAS on a separate drive than what you're installing data on, which means the drive you're installing on serves only one purpose, is only doing one thing, and it only has like 8 gig installation, if that. I think it's much smaller than that. I mean, yeah, if you're going to be doing a lot of virtualization, you're going to have a lot of services installed, and it's going to be one big server to do it all. Sure, get a bigger SSD. But check this out. These are 240 gigs each. 256 on this Silicon Power one, and 240 on the PNY drive. I'm not going to waste a 200 plus gig drive for one little installation on a server that's going to be tucked away in the closet and only needs to boot up once, theoretically. So that's my situation. I'll get a separate crappy drive, spend $20 and call it a day, rather than use one of my decent drives here and pretty much waste it. And honestly, if this doesn't work out, I might just pull the trigger on that drive. I'll take my chances. For $20, it's kind of like playing the lottery, you know? You either get a decent drive or you get one of the lemons, and then you just get a refund for it. So I think that's my plan as of right now. Try to make it work. If not, we secede and install it on a irrelevant drive. You know what? I actually have these 2.5-inch drives, like one of these things. I think I have one that's like 320 gigs, which I'm kind of willing to get rid of because, let's be honest, I'm not going to be using a lot of these. So if I have a 320 gig, 2.5-inch drive, I have to find a way to mount it because I can't just have that dangling. One of the benefits of the SSD, I could just toss it in there, called it a day. But for an actual spinning disk drive, I don't think I'm going to just toss it in there. I'm going to have to actually mount it. And that will be to be continued. So I think that's the plan. So that way we don't have to spend more money than we have to. And I'll actually use something that I just have lying around anyway. 2 birds, 1 stone. We've only moved 2 dots. You don't see one of the dots on the screen. Oh, there it is. 2 dots this entire time. Can you believe that? I bet you can, because this is BS. But this is my life. I'm going to sit here chilling, waiting for this to finish. I will potentially make a part 7 to show the update of whether or not this works. But we're not going to both sit here and wait for it to all happen. It's just, there's no point. Everyone has better stuff to do with their time. I'm going to go watch TV or something. Maybe play some video games. Why not? So, there it is. The home server setup has been continued. Thank you for chilling, throwing me in the background, whatever you happen to be doing watching this video. Thank you for hanging in general. Make sure to sub to see where this project goes. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of all this nonsense, USB drives and all this craziness. Just get an SSD. If you're doing this, I'm going to tell you what they told me. Just get an SSD. That ran by accident. Take care, y'all. Like, share, leave a comment. Peace, love, happiness.